amazing subscribers of Midwife Vlogs. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, like and leave a comment because that helps the YouTube algorithm. I sound like such a YouTuber. But yeah, basically this video is just going to be about my Osces. Well, not really. It's going to be help for you actually. Study tips for you for your Osce. Not even study tips, I'm lying. It's going to be me running through my Osce, but it's going to have all the information you need for your Osce. So my Osces is going to be postpartum hemorrhage, shoulder dystocia, and neonatal resuscitation. Don't know why I'm saying it like that, but yeah, I'm going to be speaking really fast because my Osce lasts 8 minutes and I need to fit everything into those 8 minutes. So make sure you pause the video to understand everything that I'm saying. Grab a pen and paper, take notes because I'm literally going to tell you everything. But at the same time, my Osce is based on scenarios and I'm not going to share those scenarios because it's from the uni, but I'm going to share my part of it, what I have taken from the scenarios, and go into the algorithm and everything that needs to be said in the Osce. So stay tuned. This is going to be split into 3 videos. So stay tuned for the 3 videos also. Make sure you comment and you like and you subscribe. Thank you. Risk associated with the scenario is that Gloria has a BMI of 40. This means she could be carrying additional adipose tissue in her pelvis, which can affect the trajectory of baby down the birth canal. Additionally, she has gestational diabetes, and it's unclear how well controlled her diabetes are. But in this case, the baby could have developed additional adipose tissue at the head, the shoulder, and the neck region, affecting its trajectory through the birth canal also. She also has had a previous baby, 4.2 kilograms, and a vaginal delivery. However, it's not clear whether her BMI was 40 at this point in time and whether her diabetes was well controlled at that point in time, or she did have the diabetes. So the biggest concern for me in terms of the scenario is the length of labor. So first and second stage of labor has taken longer than expected for a multiparous woman. Therefore, what I'm looking out for is a difficult delivery of the face and the chin, the face being secured to the vulva and perineum, to any turtlenecking, no restitution being seen, and no shoulder distension. So things I'd put in place, preparatory measures, is that I would ensure optimum physiology of birth. So making sure that the room is quiet, dark, minimal interruptions, relaxing for Gloria to promote that oxytocin-rich environment for the contractions to help the baby through the birth canal. I would also speak to the midwife in charge about, I'd also use like rebozo and wiggling and shifting to help baby come into the right position, in upright positions, kneeling, squatting. I speak to the midwife in charge about having additional midwife present at the birth in terms of the scenario and in terms of her history and what's happening in labor. I would also give her adequate bladder care in labor, making sure she's staying hydrated and emptying her bladder. And after I have noticed that the face and the chin has come over the perineum quite slowly, I would put Gloria into all fours position in order to facilitate the movement of the sacrum and the coccyx to increase the pelvic diameter for the birth of the baby. If that's not to work, even with applying gentle atrial traction, I will press the emergency buzzer, and I'm expecting a senior midwife, obstetrician, anaesthetist, neonatal team, and scribe to be present, as well as additional staff. I will let Gloria know that many people are coming into the room, and it's all to help baby being born safely, and I'll discourage her from pushing to prevent any impact of the shoulder against the pelvis. I will ask one of the additional staff members to dial 2222 obstetric emergency, clearly stating this is the shoulder dystocia and where we are. With all my colleagues present, I will lay the bed flat and I'll help Gloria into McRoberts position. So we'll make sure her legs are extended, and one of my colleagues will help me to simultaneously bring up her legs up to her abdomen and with her bottom off the bed. And this is to rotate her pelvis towards her head in order to give space for the sacrum and the coccyx to move and for the baby to descend through the birth canal, the shoulders and the rest of the body. If this is not to work, even with applying gentle atrial traction to prevent any injury to the brachial plexus, we will then go on to do suprapubic pressure. So I will know where the position of the baby's back is as I've been looking after her in labor. So I will apply pressure in a downward and lateral motion, 30 seconds continuous, 30 seconds rocking. And if I didn't know where the back was, I would check internally. So I'll use 2 fingers and go from the occiput to the neck and then guide my fingers to where the back is, so I know where the back is. As suprapubic pressure has not worked, I will evaluate for an episiotomy for more space. The purpose of suprapubic pressure actually is to rotate baby into a oblique or transverse position to enable the anterior shoulder to fall below the pubic symphysis for the baby to be delivered. Yes, so I'm evaluating for an episiotomy as I need space for the internal maneuvers. However, episiotomy is not necessary in this scenario. So I'm going to use Pringle fingers and insert my fingers at the side of the perineum, the sacral hollow, and I'm going to locate the posterior arm. So I'm going to target the cubital fossa of the posterior arm, and I'm going to apply gentle pressure to reach into the forearm, to reach the fist of the wrist of the baby, and I'm going to bring this over the chest and over the head to facilitate the delivery of the posterior arm, so the anterior shoulder can fall underneath the symphysis pubis for baby to be delivered. As this didn't work, I'm going to apply gentle pressure to the anterior aspects of the posterior arm to rotate baby into oblique or transverse position so that the anterior shoulder can fall under the symphysis pubis as well, and baby can be delivered safely. As this has not worked, I will repeat these maneuvers again. I will also think about Zanavelli and clidotomy alongside the members of the team. So clidotomy would be surgical division of the clavicle, or the bending of the clavicle with a finger in order to decrease the diameter of the shoulders to enable the shoulders to be born, to enable the shoulders to come under the symphysis pubis and be born. Or the Zanavelli maneuver, which will be to reinsert the fetal head, in the neonate's head, into the birth canal in order to facilitate the birth by cesarean section. So after this, I will document. I had a scribe present, so the scribe would have been documenting, but I will add additional documentation. I will debrief Gloria on what has happened and the team on what has happened. I will perform a day text in order to learn from the scenario, and I'll prepare for a postpartum hemorrhage and neonatal resuscitation, keeping Gloria in the loop of the plan of care and what is happening. Let me know what you think in the comments below. My Osce is 8 minutes and I managed to do that in 6 minutes. Let me know what you think.